Hi.
That's okay.
If I'm a performing artist,
I'm sorry?
if I'm a performing artist,
Performing artist.
yeah, and does your training and your practice and your craft count as sadhana? And if yes, is that enough?
Does what count as sadhana?
My training, my practice and my craft and every single show that I do or every single rehearsal or everything that goes into it.
What kind of performing artist? Okay. So as you said, it's an act. See, anything that you do with great involvement does something to you, all right? But there is a difference between doing an inward-focused sadhana and an outward sadhana. It's not just for an actor. A manager can use his work as sadhana, a gardener can use his work as sadhana. Anybody who's doing whatever with absolute involvement, they can use it as a process of growth. But there is a distinct difference between doing external activity as sadhana and internal process as sadhana. What is the difference? External activity as sadhana is useful because you can do it throughout the day. And of course, you have to do some activity. Making that also into your process of growth is important. But the reason for internal sadhana, which has nothing to do with the outside, is to create that inner space within you. Because your outside sadhana is subject to results, you can't help it. Suppose in the middle of your act you forgot your dialogue. You can't say, this is my sadhana, I forgot and it's fine, I'll still enjoy and grow. No, you will be demolished on that day, isn't it? So your outside sadhana is subject to a certain level of performance and result and appreciation and monetary returns and everything. But still it can be useful, it can be working for your well-being if you're doing it with absolute involvement. If there is involvement in anything, just your breathing, if you're absolutely involved, this will become your sadhana. You're walking, you're acting, you're anything. Involvement makes every act into a kind of growth, but still creating an inner space is very important because that's not subject to anything outside. Nobody need to clap their hands when you're meditating. Yes, you do your kriya, you're not expecting somebody to appreciate you at the end of it. It is not subject to any external reality, and that's very important. That at least one aspect of your life is like this. It is not subject to anybody's appreciation or approval or whatever, but still you do it with absolute involvement. There are other dimensions to it. Apart from that, for you as a person to do something which has nothing to do with anybody around you is an important act that you have to perform every day. It's very important. So if you do that well, it'll be very easy to make your life's activity into your sadhana. If this inner space is not there, life's activity can slowly catch you up in such a way that for a lot of people, the professions and whatever else they started with great passion, after some time it's killing them. It is. Well, most people on the planet, isn't it? Simply because there is no inner space. So all this I'm not an expert in these things, but I remember this because of something that came my way once. All this in one single sentence was uttered by Krishna. He said, Yogastaha kuru karmani. It simply means, first establish yourself within you, then act. Then no action is a problem. You can fight a war, you can act, you can be a priest in the temple, you can cook, you can sweep, it doesn't matter what you do. But first establish yourself and do whatever you want. He's not restricting your action. He's saying do whatever you want, whatever is needed you do. But first establish yourself within yourself. Otherwise you're using external activity to make yourself who you are, which will be disastrous. Establish who you are, then act, no problem. But if you're using your activity to make yourself into something, if something comes in your way which doesn't allow you to become that, you will be destroyed. So don't try to be a yogi by teaching yoga. You become a yogi, and then if people are interested, we will teach, otherwise we'll just close our eyes and sit.
How can we transform the very nature of work, so often seen as a burden, into a source of joy and meditation? Is it possible to find stillness amidst the chaos of deadlines and demands? And how can the mundane tasks we undertake daily become a pathway to mindfulness and inner peace? Work, in its essence, is an expression of our energy, a manifestation of our inner being into the world. Yet, many of us approach work as merely a means to an end, a way to earn a living, to fulfill obligations, or to achieve societal status. This perspective, however, limits the profound potential of work to serve as a medium for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Consider the Zen masters, who teach the art of turning every action, no matter how small, into a gesture of mindfulness. In this practice, washing dishes is not just a chore but an opportunity to be fully present, to experience the warmth of the water, the sensation of soap suds, the rhythm of movement, turning a simple act into a meditation. Similarly, when we approach our work with this level of awareness and presence, we transform it into a meditative practice. Imagine engaging in your daily tasks with full attention and mindfulness, each task performed with a sense of purpose and presence. This is the essence of turning work into meditation. It's about shifting our mindset from one of resistance to one of acceptance, from distraction to focus, from fragmentation to wholeness. When we are fully present in the moment, our work becomes an expression of our deepest self, a dance of creativity and joy. Eckhart Tolle, in his profound wisdom, reminds us, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but your thoughts about it. This insight is especially relevant in the context of work. Our dissatisfaction with work often arises not from the work itself but from our resistance to it, our thoughts and judgments about it. By embracing the present moment, by finding the stillness within, we can transform our experience of work. It is not the nature of the task that defines its value, but the quality of consciousness we bring to it. This approach requires a shift from working solely for outcomes to working as an act of being, where the focus is on the process, the doing, rather than the result. It's about finding joy in the act of creation, regardless of its scale or recognition. When work becomes an expression of our innermost self, it transcends the mundane and becomes a spiritual practice, a path to enlightenment. Dear seekers, turning work into meditation is not just about changing what we do, but how we do it. It's about recognizing that each moment, each task, offers an opportunity for mindfulness, for growth, for experiencing the divine in the ordinary. Eckhart Tolle's message is a call to awaken to this reality, to recognize that the only way real transformation can happen in our lives is by embracing the present moment, by finding the stillness within. It is in this stillness that we discover our true nature, our connection to all things, and the joy of being. This realization transforms not just our approach to work, but our approach to life itself. As we delve deeper into the practice of turning work into meditation, we uncover layers of resistance that often hold us back from experiencing the fullness of the present moment. This resistance comes in many forms: mental chatter, emotional turbulence, or even physical discomfort. The key to overcoming this resistance is not to fight it, but to acknowledge it, to observe it without judgment, and to gently bring our focus back to the task at hand. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity and universality. Whether you are an artist painting with passion, a teacher engaging with students, a gardener tending to plants, or an executive making decisions, the opportunity to meditate through work is always present. Each action, no matter how small, can become a portal to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. This mindful approach to work also fosters a sense of gratitude. When we are truly present, we begin to appreciate the intricacies of our tasks, the opportunity to contribute, and the interconnectedness of our actions with the larger web of existence. This gratitude transforms our experience of work from one of obligation to one of opportunity, an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. Moreover, turning work into meditation brings a sense of flow to our daily activities. When we are fully immersed in the present moment, time seems to expand. We lose ourselves in the joy of doing, and work becomes effortless. This state of flow is where creativity and innovation flourish, where we find ourselves capable of solving complex problems with ease and grace. To integrate this practice into our lives, we can start with small steps. Begin by setting the intention to be fully present with your next task. It could be as simple as answering an email, attending a meeting, or completing a report. Before you start, take a moment to center yourself. Take a few deep breaths, feel your feet on the ground, and remind yourself of your intention to be present. As you engage in your task, notice when your mind wanders, and gently guide it back to the present moment, back to the task at hand. In embracing this practice, we find that work is no longer a separate part of our lives, but an integral aspect of our spiritual journey. Each day becomes an opportunity to practice mindfulness, to deepen our understanding of ourselves, and to connect with the world in a more meaningful way. Dear seekers, the transformation of work into meditation is a journey towards wholeness, towards integrating all aspects of our lives into a cohesive, spiritual practice. It is a journey that requires patience, practice, and perseverance. Yet, the rewards are immeasurable. It leads to a life lived with purpose, with joy, and with a deep sense of peace.